It's day 3. We are at Pocani Raceway in Pennsylvania, and this is my final day. It's been an amazing event thus far. The crowds are just growing. I mean, we are looking at, I don't know, 2,000 cars now. Went from 900 to 1,500 to I think 2,000, maybe more. It is incredible. The crowds are growing. The mood is heightening, if you will. And the roads are just amazing. The routes that have been created have been fantastic. Just in terms of, at least MTTSs I've been on, I mean, the routes are really consistently good, which is more than I can say for some of them in the past. But I think the thing that's really cool about this, of course, is we're at Pocani Raceway. So we're in the middle of a racetrack. This is a IndyCar and NASCAR track, typically in the middle of the Poconos, which is in eastern Pennsylvania. Beautiful area. So bumped into Pat McKenna a second ago, and of course you turn around and you bump into Mike Peyton. I mean,
did Pat spill all the beans on future product and things like that?
Yeah,
or?
So he said you guys are actually buying Harley and you're going 100% into the Harley business. Is that not true?
Yeah.
He may, you know what? He may have been.
He might know a few things that I don't know. Apparently.
Minnie takes the States back after a 4-year absence.
Yes.
And it is, and I can just speak as a observer of this so far for past 2 days, it has not skipped a beat.
No.
It is 1,000 cars out in the parking lot right now.
Yeah.
People having a great time.
It's incredible.
Got to be very satisfying for you.
It is. I mean, you know, so we've had, I mean, over the last 4 years, right, since it's been 2018 was the last one, which is crazy. And it was so painful every time we had to postpone, but you know, for the right reasons, obviously, with everything going on the last couple of years. But I'll tell you, our owners have carried on. They've been getting together in smaller groups, and they've been waiting for this national come together. We did Mini together last year, and it was virtual, and everyone were able to do kind of a scavenger hunt in their own states. But it's totally different with everybody here, and you see all the customized minis and the smiling faces. And I'll tell you, like you said, it's an incredible day. Yesterday was an incredible day.
Beautiful.
And you know, the whole week is supposed to be like this. So I think someone's looking down upon us and making sure we've got great weather. The drives were incredible yesterday, and you almost didn't want to get out. It's one of those days where you don't want to get out of your car. You know, some people do road trips, and it's like, when can I get out of my car? But
the roads, it was incredible. We went from Burlington, Vermont to Vernon, New York, like yesterday. Today, we're going from Vernon to the Poconos. Which I've never been. I'm pretty excited about. I've heard great things. So the roads have been great. The routes that have been chosen have been fantastic.
Everything off the beaten path, but very mini roads.
Right, and I've done this enough to know that it doesn't always go that way. And this one looks awesome. I was just looking at the entire route earlier this morning, and it's going to get cool, especially towards the end.
Yes, not cool in fun fashion. Cool, maybe not in temperature-wise.
Correct. It will get warmer. Let's be clear.
It's going to get warmer as we go. Maybe a little more humidity than we have today.
I mean, it was like 52 degrees this morning, and I'm in a jacket still. But
it's awesome.
It's perfect. So one of the things that is particularly fascinating for me to see is this newer generation, if I could call it. At MTTS, 55% of people here are new registrants.
Exactly.
Which I'm surprised, not surprised about. What's your take on that?
Well, we heard that also with Mini together. It was about the same. Almost 60% were new people. They were like, hey, this is my first Mini. Now, what's been interesting is we've had a ton of people new to the brand, particularly in the last maybe, 3 years or so. Some of it's with Mini Electric, and that actually has brought people not only into the electric car, but I think 28% of the customers that come in with the Mini Electric end up buying Countryman.
Oh wow!
So we have people that's just it's kind of a halo car for us, because it's getting Mini on their radar, or maybe we weren't before, and it's getting them into other Minis, because then it's introducing them to the brand. So that's awesome. But then also we have so many loyal owners who are, on their second, third plus Mini. And they still have most of their minis too, and so that's cool too. But it's it's great to see just all of those loyal owners that are out there, but also the new ones, like you said, who are maybe rediscovering or discovering Mini for the first time.
It's really the energy in that parking lot out there is is new. It's the same but a little different than it has been, which is great. There's even a classic Mini out there. It's just a cool.
Daisy.
Yeah,
Daisy is the classic Mini, and really we had no issues yesterday for the most part.
Yeah,
so really
I love the fact there's an F56 chase car.
Yes,
that's dedicated
Chasing
to following
Miss Daisy. I love that. It's great.
So speaking of the electric, I mean, I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, but what does an event like this look in the future when you've got electric Minis? It's obviously there's logistics to overcome there.
So we had the question this year from people that were electric owners, and they're like, hey, could I do the route? And you probably, just because of the infrastructure, right? It gets more challenging with some of the routes we're doing, which are completely off the beaten path. But if you were to go from point A to point B, so the host cities, it's possible because there's charging corridors. But then, when you look to the future and we're a more electrified brand, you'll see other products in our range that have longer ranges. And but then it also means you're probably going to see a lot of chargers in the parking lot. And a different infrastructure that we need to kind of support the event when we're all electric. But when we continue to do this into the future, you'll see longer and longer range on the products, which it'll make more sense.
And the only product question I'll ask you, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to squeeze it in. Having just had an BMW i4 for a week and been challenged by the charging infrastructure, which is not BMW's fault, but it is their problem, and I think that's probably how you look at it as well. It's not like you own the system, but it is your problem from a product perspective.
100%.
What is Mini and BMW doing, working perhaps with some of those providers, some of those charging companies?
Yeah, I mean, we had earlier cooperations with ChargePoint and then now Electrify America. So every manufacturer, it takes not only what the government wants to do to support things, it takes us as manufacturers to kind of lean into things. So that's very much what is really important right now. But at the same time, you also you think about how many people are charging at home, and it's probably about, depending on the stat, whoever stat you get, but between 70 and 80% of the time people are charging at home. So you're looking for the infrastructure when you're really getting out of your normal day-to-day.
Right. The road trip.
But that's still important. Because most people, particularly if you're a Mini, we're the second, third, fourth car in the household still. And most people are driving their electric Mini because it's around town, commuter car, whatever it might be. But infrastructure is really key, and I think you'll see that continue to be a big topic.
Last question.
Yep.
And I didn't ask this of Pat, by the way, because I'm told I can't. Otherwise I get in trouble. Okay. Give us one cool thing to expect, and it could be an event. It could be what do we have to look forward to?
I'll tell you that maybe in some of the upcoming Minis you'll see. I think it'll feel very familiar from maybe where Mini started.
Okay.
Maybe a bit more minimalistic on the inside, but I think you're also going to see a completely new level of customization in our products, both inside and outside.
Okay.
So some cool things coming in the not so distant future.
Awesome. Well, with that,
all right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, as always.
Good stuff.
Yeah, on the Pocani.
Have a great drive today.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
We are just a few minutes before we have to take off. This is our last little hurrah here, and as you can see, it's absolutely amazing. Just the customization, just the expression of all these different cars. It's just a fantastic sight. Really nice to see this event back, and it is a labor of love for Mini to put this on. Such a huge commitment on their part. So cool to see it. And yeah, these guys really enjoy it. I'm not entirely sure how many cars are here, but it is a massive crowd, and it's a crowd that is just so committed. I mean, just committed to the brand, committed to the whole concept. So just awesome to see such great camaraderie. This is day 3. Of course, there's a whole other 5 days of this, culminating in South Carolina and the BMW Performance Center Tail of the Dragon's going to be coming up for these folks as well. That's going to be cool. So the whole thing is going to be an amazing event. The routes have been spectacular the 3 days we've been here. The amenities, everything's been fantastic. Can't complain much. I will say it would be amazing to have a couple events at night. They've cut those out, so they're all just sort of morning events, and then you're kind of on your own for the rest of the day. I think it'd be cool to have a couple switches where it's like maybe a dinner or parties or something, and then nothing in the morning. You just kind of take off. But I think otherwise, like it's been fantastic. Massive crowds. I think that's the thing that is so cool to see. We didn't know if that was going to happen, and it's a little bittersweet, of course. So we're leaving. It's going to get even better. I mean, ultimately, it's going to get down to the Tail of the Dragon, to the BMW Performance Center in South Carolina, and it's just gonna go on and on. It's definitely an awesome thing to see this back. It's such an incredible event for the brand, for owners, for people to connect. It's really unlike anything I've ever experienced in the car world. So sad to see it go, but we'll see what comes in the next couple years. Hopefully it does come back. Definitely something that is a labor of love for many. I mean, they put their heart and soul into this event, and so seeing it come to fruition and seeing it successful is so gratifying to everybody, including them. So thank you all. See you next time.